Yesterday, I dropped this name on the show. You texted me this morning. You said, did you know this was coming? Is that why you said this name? I wish I could say yes. I wish I did know this was coming. I wish I had some inside scoop that said, yeah, of course. Why would I not know that this guy in Miami is getting released? Today, we all woke up to the news that Odell Beckham Jr. has been waived by the Miami Dolphins. And yeah, not a big name. Who cares about OBJ at this point in his career? He's not the big splash signing that he once was. He does not make the massive impact. He is not a wide receiver 1. He's not even a wide receiver 2 on most teams in the NFL right now. But the Pittsburgh Steelers could look at him and say this. Well, right now, OBJ is 32 years old. He's got to have some game left in him. He's a Super Bowl champion. He's an all-pro. He's a guy that, again, you're getting older OBJ, not newer OBJ, but you're still getting OBJ. Reliable set of hands, proven veteran to help the younger guys because you need that. And he costs $208,000 for the rest of the season, which in NFL terms is pennies. There is nobody worth $200,000. That is a practice squad guy. You just signed Jonathan Ward to your practice squad, or this guy, Jamal Agnew, worth $200,000. Same price as OBJ. Where does he come in and fit? Because people will say, well, you have Mike Williams, you have Calvin Austin. He does not surpass either of them. He is clearly behind both. What he is maybe an upgrade over Scotty Miller, maybe a more reliable set of hands than Van Jefferson. Maybe that's the role that he plays. If you can put Mike Williams in your starting lineup and improve your play for Calvin Austin, because Calvin Austin's playing great. It's just get him the ball more. And then OBJ is just coming off the bench trying to win a Super Bowl. On the other side of that, I mean, why wouldn't he want to come to Pittsburgh? They only have one definite 100% he is the guy wide receiver, which that is true. We can all acknowledge that the Steelers are not going to remove Van Jefferson from the starting lineup to put Mike Williams in or any of that. But on the outside looking in, you don't know that. You haven't watched and covered this team as a player for the Dolphins long enough to have an understanding that the Pittsburgh Steelers aren't going to give you that much playing time. You're coming into a team that's 10-3. You are clearly a Super Bowl contender. You have a quarterback in Russell Wilson that has found the fountain of youth. And you have a head coach in Mike Tomlin that always seems to intrigue guys like Odell Beckham Jr. on top of Arthur Smith, who is, well, making George Pickens shine like the star that he is and putting everybody else in precarious situations and making the offense look good. So why would you not if you're Odell Beckham Jr.? It might not make the biggest sense in the world. It might not be the biggest splash, but we're talking KJ Osborne. We've talked, I don't know, every single name in the book here. Why not talk OBJ for a Super Bowl run? Do you think there's any possibility the Pittsburgh Steelers would consider it? And would you consider it?
Well, yesterday I thought he was sitting on the couch, and so did Mike McDaniel because he never used him down in Miami. And to be fair, that was never a fit to begin with. I mean, you look at his yards per reception or yards per target in Miami this season, it's 3. Typically, he's around 8 or 9. At this stage of his career, he is not a yak guy. And I think when I'm looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers, they don't really need to bring him in at this stage of the game because 1, he's not going to be ready for tomorrow. 2, he's probably not going to be ready for the Ravens game. And 3, by the time Christmas rolls around, that might be the one game that you have without George Pickens. Do you really need to bring in another guy like Odell Beckham Jr. at the time being for that? No, because earlier this year when we were talking about wide receivers around the trade deadline, I said, if they have less receiving yards than Van Jefferson, I'm not interested. Well, not only does Odell have less receiving yards than Van Jefferson, he has less receiving yards than Scotty Miller. So no, I think at this stage of his career, I think I'm good on Odell Beckham Jr. I'm sure he'll go probably the Ravens. That seems like a good fit since Deontay's probably not going to play for them. I'm sure he could go back there considering he has a rapport with Lamar Jackson, a rapport with the Harbaughs, but I just don't see a fit in Pittsburgh because honestly, at this stage, I understand that they're wide receiver needy. They have been all season long, but trust Mike Williams, trust Calvin Austin. You brought these guys in. You've been saying there's more to come. Let them show that there's more to come. I just don't think they'll be able to get Odell up to speed in time for him to actually be worth bringing in, even though it's only $200,000.
The start of the new year is the perfect time to get organized, set goals, and prioritize what matters most. For me, a top priority is my financial wellness, which feels more important than ever. Thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable, and they show me all of my subscriptions right in one place and help me easily cancel the ones I forgot I've been paying for. Rocket Money also pulls together all of my spending across all of my different accounts so I can clearly track my spending habits and see where I can cut back. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps you find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. See all of your subscriptions in one place and know exactly where your money is going. For ones you don't want anymore, Rocket Money can help you cancel them. Rocket Money's dashboard gives you a clear view of your expenses across all of your accounts. Easily create a personalized budget with custom categories to keep your spending on track. See your monthly spending trends in each category to know exactly where your money is going. Get alerts if your bills increase in price, there's unusual spending activity, or if you're close to going over your budget. The new goals feature automatically saves money for you, so you don't have to think about it. Pay off credit card debt, put away money for a house, or just building your savings. Rocket Money makes it easy. Rocket Money will even try to negotiate lower bills for you. They automatically scan your bills to find opportunities to save. Then you can ask them to negotiate for you. They'll deal with customer service so you don't have to. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of 500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/allsteelers today. That's rocketmoney.com/allsteelers. rocketmoney.com/allsteelers. I was going to say it's $200,000. What I understand the stock of, well, he's got less receiving yards, but you also just said that he doesn't have the opportunity or didn't fit in Miami's offense.
He didn't.
Maybe
He
he fits better in Pittsburgh's.
I'm sure he would fit better in Pittsburgh's just because of the style. Mike McDaniel versus Arthur Smith. Smith and Wilson are a long ball, deep ball type of duo, but at the same time, again, he's got to get in here and he's got to learn the playbook. And with 3 weeks to go after Sunday, which he's already essentially ruled out because there's no chance that he does. First and foremost, he's not a free agent until Monday.
I was going to say, you'd have to claim him and then you wouldn't even get him until Monday.
Exactly. So there's no chance he even plays this weekend. I just don't think that there's enough time left. You know, as Mike Tomlin would say, the road is too narrow to bring on OBJ and let him jump on.
How big of the name would it have to be for you to be on the yes train for a wide receiver at this point in the season?
It's not as much of a how big of the name, but how talented the player, because the name can be huge. Odell's name is massive. You mentioned his name isn't as big as what it used to. The name is there, but that's about all that's there right now. The talent isn't anywhere close to what it used to be. And trust me, I was proven wrong in 2021 whenever he came back and did what he did for the Rams and was going to be the Super Bowl MVP in that Super Bowl before he tore his ACL. But since then, it's been 3 years and a multiple different stops. I don't think that he is anywhere close to the guy that he used to be. And honestly, I just don't see another name popping open. So it would have to be like somebody pulled a Tavondre Campbell and walked off the field and said, I quit from this team. And all of a sudden he's available for the Steelers. Like that would have to be the case. And I just don't see it happening.
I don't either, but I do think that at this point in the season, like guys, you know, there are some, I think Odell Beckham is a name that would adjust to an offense pretty quickly. Like he's been around the league enough times that, and I'm not saying you go sign him. I don't think he I do think he improves the Steelers offense, but I don't think he is worth, or a name that the Pittsburgh Steelers would honestly like really consider outside of the money. You know, it would have to be like, and that's the thing is Sunday could change all of it. Sunday, you go to Philadelphia, you lose, your offense looks really bad. Russell Wilson's got nobody to throw the ball to against a good defense. I mean, it changes a lot of things because at that point you're going, well, we got to figure something out. You got to do something, and he's an option that's available. Right now, I agree with you. I think on Monday things could change depending on how Sunday goes, and it could go the other way around. Like, they could look good, and the Steelers have. I mean, Why would you ever even talk about another wide receiver at all unless it's A.J. Brown getting released because he's talking smack after the game about Jalen Hurts or something like that? I think OBJ could jump on a moving train pretty quickly. That's my thing, is like guys like that, like Mike Williams played in one offense his entire career and then went to the Jets. OBJ's been around. He's picked up on offenses quickly in the past. I think that helps guys a lot. That's why Preston Smith, who's done this before, was able to come in here and kind of, make an impact rather quickly, in a situation like that. And that's why, I mean, Russ is a bad example, but that's why Russ didn't have to like adjust. He's just like, okay, like I get it. I haven't done anything, but I'm here. I've done this before. It's fine. There are guys that fit that box. I think Monday could change some minds. And what if it's bad? Does your mind change on Monday? What if things are bad?
It has to be very bad in Philadelphia.
There's a possibility it's really bad.
The expectation's pretty low right now, right? I mean, we saw what the Steelers offense did last week, and we said, we gave them props for what they were able to do, but a lot of that was born out of turnovers and short fields. If they do it against the Eagles defense, yeah, okay. If it's bad, it's bad. But I think that, I don't think it's going to be that bad. I think that it would have to be very, very, very bad for them to look in the direction of an Odell Beckham Jr. And again, he's done it before, like you mentioned, but that was a trade deadline trade. That's in week 8 or 9. We're in week 15 here. That is a much shorter track and a much older Odell Beckham Jr. as well.
I agree. Again, I don't think OBJ comes in here and is a starting wide receiver. I just think, depending on how Sunday goes, he's a veteran set of hands that catches footballs quite well. And I'm not pushing. I'm not saying they should. Just saying maybe on Monday we have something to think about. Hopefully we do not. Hopefully Van Jefferson scores 4 touchdowns and Mike Williams looks unbelievable.
Yeah.
And we forget that Cooper DeJean ever existed. Maybe that's what happens come Monday.